Say no to negativity.
Yeah, that's right. The campaign, if you watched episode 1 of the End of the World podcast, which I'm sure you did, which is why you're watching episode 2, because you watch things in order, because I only want people who do things in order, really, because disorderly people mean disorderly world. But I don't want to be negative about them, because this is the campaign that I was discussing in episode 1 of the podcast, and it's the Say No to Negativity campaign. Okay? Because we've got, I think you'll agree, we have a world that is, I think, very negative.
I agree.
Yeah? Very negative indeed. And one of the questions I wanted to pose, or at least, with this session for this anti-negativity campaign, right? The t-shirts have been printed, right? Because they hadn't been printed last time because I got lied to. And the message needs to get out. So we'll do a brainstorm session about ways to get the message across to the world and change human behaviour more than force fields would. So we established moments ago that force fields would mean you couldn't rob a bank really effectively anymore, because you just couldn't really threaten anybody with anything. So that's behaviour. But what can we do to teach people and change that human behaviour? Because I tell you what, I hate negativity. It's hateful. It's awful. It's horrible. The people that do it are bastards.
Despise it.
Horrible bastards. I hate it. Okay.
It's pretty bad.
Some people say that, you can't have positivity if you don't have negativity.
Yeah.
Like
nonsense.
Newton would say that, or Stephen Hawking would say that.
Get rid of it.
In his American accent.
Yeah.
And but it's a disgrace. Everywhere you go these days, it seems, every news outlet is putting you under pressure, saying you need to be angry about this thing.
Yeah, worried or scared, or all the negativity just washing over all of society constantly.
It's all about fear. How do we control people? Why do we control people? What do we have to control people for? Why can't we leave people alone? Yeah?
Greed.
That's a question for higher ups than us.
Well,
Who knows what their negative motives might be?
I think they have significant negative motives. And this is the thing. Because it's not even about money, is it? It's not even... How much is enough? When you're into the billions, when you're into the tens of billions, you don't... There's nothing you're like, well, if I had a bit more, I could buy this. That doesn't happen anymore. No. You actually find, oddly enough, as you get more and more money, that you're spending less of it on things because people start just giving you complimentary stuff.
That's how the rich stay rich, isn't it?
Yeah,
free stuff.
Oh, do you just want this? Come to our thing for free and we'll give you this thing. And you, well, all right.
Talk about what a nice time you had at our thing. And
you go, well, I might do. They've already received the thing. That would be negative, obviously, because if you've made an agreement where you've said, oh no, I'll big up your establishment if you let me have drinks for free. But you see, someone like me, because I don't have a negative mindset, I would never sort of approach and say, hey, I'd like free stuff to be nice about you. I'd just be nice about them if they merited it. And obviously, where this would be difficult for someone like me is where it was not merited, to then not be negative about them. That is hard. I'll admit it's not like a straight line to success.
No.
You can't just go... If you go to a restaurant and the waiter punches you, it takes a very special person to not post a negative review of that.
Sure. But is there an acceptable level of negativity, or is it a straight no to negativity?
Well, I would
blanketly.
One thing that I'm finding, because I want to get this campaign off the ground.
Of course.
I want everybody to know about it. KNOW, know about it. I want everybody to yes about the anti-negativity campaign. And I find that the way that campaigns are conducted today, be it walking really slowly on the road or other things you can do, kind of annoy the public, is you have to be 100% committed, even if it's even if it's really stupid to be that committed to a thing. You have to be, because it's a campaign. Okay, so in that sense, you can't be negative. If you were to look at reviews of restaurants, I don't want to get bogged down in restaurants, okay, but I'm just making it understandable. If you look at a review of a restaurant, you go on, I can say Google, because Google own YouTube. I'll probably be top of the pops now, won't I? I'll be like, oh, he's mentioned us. Oh, fantastic. We love this video. Google, Google, Google. If you go on Google Maps, yeah, and you search an area with restaurants, and they all get their kind of, anything that starts with a 3 out of 5, don't go there.
No. That's
awful.
Yeah.
4.2 is kind of like the cutoff. One thing that you find is things can get as high as kind of 4.6, 4.7, and you go to them and you're like, the people that scored this aren't quite at my level. You know, you're like, if you think this was this good,
yeah.
You know,
Imagine
maybe
if I took you to my favourite spots.
Maybe some votes are better than others. You know, we could have a kind of hierarchy that this is a better standard of reviewer.
Yeah. Do they have like trusted reviewers on certain things?
Yeah, but they're just people who do it loads, aren't they? I mean, why are they trusted? Oh, they've done 1,000. Yeah, so just live off it. But my point was, you get very few 2 and 3 star reviews. Okay, if you've got a fantastic establishment, then it's actually annoying to get a 4-star review, because it's dragging your average down.
Yeah.
But the person who did it was probably well-meaning, in the sense that I had quite a nice time, it was pretty good.
Didn't blow my mind.
I had a lovely time.
But they might not even say that. They might be like, the whole review might be,
yeah, I had a nice time, 4 stars, yeah.
Or even like the best ones you ever get are like perfect 4 stars.
Yeah.
And that's all
couldn't have been better.
Because people don't realise that 4-star is just as damaging as a 1-star.
Whatever's dragging you down is dragging you down.
That is negative.
But you will find that
It's got to be 5, always 5.
yes, if you yeah, it has to be, right.
Always
5
5.
or 1.
Yeah, and that's what the reviews tend to be, okay? And when you look at the 1-star reviews and you read them, they are always so, not always, sometimes, well, I can't say that when I'm wearing this t-shirt, sometimes justified, okay?
1 star is
But
extreme.
9 times out of 10, at least, that you'll read their story and they will be the most unreasonable person.
They're too negative.
They're very negative.
Too negative.
And why doesn't the world revolve around me? And they'll have gone to like some tin pot place where the food is simple, you know, it's cheap, it's just like, it's tasty, which is why the reviews are like, it gets a 4.4. People are like, this place isn't bad, it's cheap, it's tasty, I'm not expecting a great deal.
Yeah.
They'll come and say, oh, when we got in the place, you know, the waiter didn't like hand me $5,000 and, you know, pat me on the back and they didn't, and I said it was my wife's birthday and they only sung 3 songs for her and you know, those kinds of, if we could find a way of just like rounding up those people, I think we can, by using the power of Google to get them all in one place.
Maybe that can be the jump off point for the campaign, is that's who you try and hit first, is those extreme negative people.
And you hit them.
It's like filter out a lot of negativity.
It's like the end of be like the end of Inglourious Bastards.
Well done. You have endured this video to the bitter end. As a reward for your bravery, I'm going to beg you for help. Please subscribe to this silly channel. It is doing far worse than anyone expected, and people will be fired if things don't improve. My mortgage payments are very high. I can't afford to lose this job.